everybody, and a warm welcome to this special preview programme of the 2013 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Here to have a look at all of the form and to see what may or may not happen. Vincent Lahalle and Sally-Anne Grasic, two of the leading broadcasters here in France. Welcome to you both. Sally-Anne, what a race it promises to be this year. Great spectacle.
The Arc is always a brilliant race. We always really look forward to the first Sunday in October, but I think this year we're going to have a really good edition of it.
Yeah, of course, Vincent, there are two Japanese hopes. Remember when Deep Impact came in 2006? How exciting. The flavour of the day was fantastic.
Yes, the Japanese are looking for a win in that race for many, many years, and we can see really that this year could be their year.
Yeah, well, the details of the race itself. It takes place on Sunday, the 6th of October. A fantastic race. Of course, it's a Group 1 race, one of the many on the day itself. They race over 2,400 metres here as well. And the prize money, €4,800,000, Europe's richest race. And the Roll of Honour is there for all to see as well. The great recent winners for France, Solymir, caused a major upset 12 months ago. Daydream for Germany the year before, and of course the Germans, in the form of Novelist, have a big chance once again this time around. A fantastic day, a fantastic trophy as well. How about that for a bit of silverware, Sally-Anne?
Well, I don't think any trainer or owner would mind having that on their mantelpiece in the future.
And is it the most special day of the whole year for you, Vincent?
Definitely yes. This is the most important day in French racing, and we think in France it's the most important day in Europe for racing. Yeah, you have the Arc, but you have many group rounds that day, so this is very special for us.
It's funny, Sally-Anne, in England, the new Champions Day, 2 weeks after the Arc at Ascot, is new and it's exciting, but at the moment it's got a long way to catch up with this fantastic day.
The atmosphere on Arc Day is always amazing. The place is full with English and Irish and Japanese people who come over to visit, all the people who make the trip to Longchamp, especially for that day. As Vincent said, 8 Group 1s in total on the card. It's really a really special day, and everybody dreams of coming to the Arc, and even more of having a runner in it.
And everybody wants to win the big race, of course. One of my earliest memories was Dancing Brave, just charging up the home straight in 1986, winning one of the best ever Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. But in recent years, as we were touching on, the honours have been shared across many nations. Solymir last year at a big surprise, Daydream the year before for Germany. Sir Michael Stout won it with Workforce in 2010, and unforgettably the year before that, See the Stars in 2009 for John Ox, one of the greatest horses we'll ever see. Zarkava before that, Rail Link, Hurricane Run. Who was your favourite of all the winners, Vincent?
I would say 99, Mon Jeu. He made something incredible. It was a fantastic year with Mick Kinnan, and so it would be Mon Jeu in 99.
And Sally-Anne, your best memory of the Arc?
Mine would have to be See the Stars in 2009. It was such an emotional time, and my family were involved with the choice and with the See the Stars, and for John Ox it was a great win. It was a brilliant day.
Happy days, great days indeed. I wonder which horse will step forward and win this year's renewal. Well, all the trials are now over, and the bookmakers have reacted to those trials, and amongst the favourites we have Orfèvre, of course, who is a 3-1 market leader, so dramatically beaten 12 months ago. Trèves for Frankie Dettori is a 4-1 chance. The great German hope is Novelist at 6-1. For Japan again, Kizuna is 7-1. The English Derby winner, Ruler of the World, returned to form. We'll see that shortly. An 8-1 chance. And then on 10-1, Flincher, Intello, with really classy Group 1 winners like Al Kazim and the Fugue, underlying the great quality of this year's race. They are both priced at 14-1. Well, let's crack on with some of the form available then, and we start off by having a look at some of the leading fillies and mares. And the most recent trial for the fillies and mares in France, at any rate, was the Prix Vermeil. It's obviously thrown up some really good horses in the past. Let's see those that won the Vermeil and see what they did in the Arc itself. Zarkava, of course, a standout winner of both races, Vincent.
Yes, but she was definitely the best filly that year, and probably the best horse in the world in 2008. But we could say about the Prix Vermeil, it's not just a prep race. This is a target for many fillies or mares because this is a group run. It's not the case of the Prix or the Prix Foire, so it's not obligatory a prep race. It could be a big target for that fillies and mares.
Yeah, and Zakar was the fifth filly to win the Vermeil and the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in the same year. It's fascinating to note, isn't it, that three troikas back in 1979 won both for Cricket Head, and Cricket is right back, seemingly in the big time, with this year's Vermeil winner, Trèves. And Sally Ann, this was probably the most dramatic of all the trials from Paris in mid-September.
Trèves has been very impressive all year long, and she was even more impressive again in the Vermeil. You can see the acceleration that she puts in 300 metres from home is very impressive, and she does it so easily. Cricket Head said that she had told Frankie to be easy on the filly, that this wasn't the big day for her, and really I don't see why that she won't be supplemented for the Arc.
Vincent, back in England, people were very excited about this filly.
Yes, but she was so impressive in the Prix Diane. She made the record of that race, so we hoped that she would confirm, and she did. She did very well. She would have a big jockey for the big races. It's very important, but it would be another test for her. She has never fought against the males. So we have to see her against the males, but she is definitely one of the best fillies we have seen in France for maybe the 10 or 15 last years.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be amazing, Sally Ann, if Frankie Dettori could win the Arc again after the really poor 12 months he's had on and off the track?
It would be brilliant for Frankie. He's been lucky to come back and get his new job as first jockey to Sheikh Johan, who bought this filly after her Prix de Diane win from the Head family. It's been a great purchase for him as well. I think they'll really enjoy themselves with her. It's worth noting that if she runs, will have 54.5 kilos on her back is the weight for the 3-year-old fillies, whereas horses such as Orfèvre will have 59.5 kilos. So she will have an advantage in the weight. She'll have a 5 kilo advantage.
Yeah, so Cricket Head Marek had this to tell us after that fantastic, dazzling display in the Vermeil.
C'est une jument formidable. Moi, je sais que j'ai eu la chance d'en avoir beaucoup de bonnes, mais celle-là, elle est au-dessus de tous. J'ai rarement eu un cheval avec une pointe de vitesse comme elle a. Parce que pour faire ce qu'elle a fait aujourd'hui, il faut vraiment avoir beaucoup de vitesse. Elle a tiré, elle était enfermée, elle n'avait pas le jour, elle a louvoyé entre les chevaux. Elle est formidable.
Sally Ann, that is some tribute, isn't it, when you think of the horses that Cricket has trained over the years to put her right up there at the top of the tree.
Well, especially when she's trained fillies like Egypt Band, back in the day, she's had some really good fillies. It's great to see Cricket back at the top, like Frankie. The two of them are having a resurgence at the moment, and hopefully it would be a great result for the entire Head family if Trèves could do it.
Yeah, Frankie Dettori will bring the house down if he can win the Arc on Trèves, and when he dismounted after the Vermeil, he paid this glowing tribute.
Je l'ai monté 2 fois. Et la dernière fois, elle a travaillé très bien. J'ai toute la confiance du monde avec sa pouliche parce qu'il a 300 mètres missilial. Cricket, il ne sait pas taper la cheval aujourd'hui parce que l'Arc, c'est le grand jour pour nous. Bon, on a couché dans le 300 mètres poteau et quand je presse le switch, il est parti comme un aéroplane. Maintenant, on y va prier pour un numéro à côté de la corde pour l'Arc, c'est très important. Quand il prend ça, on y va avoir une très grande chance.
Frankie Dettori's reaction to Trèves' victory there, and looking forward. Obviously, Vincent, we do not know the draw at the time of speaking to everybody, but it's going to be important, isn't it?
Yes, it's very important. We have seen many horses able to make a big performance with bad draws, but it's definitely a big advantage to have a good draw.
So do we both agree that Trèves is a massive player in the Arc?
Oh yeah. Yes.
I think the Vermeil has really confirmed that, and you can see that in the price she is now. I think she definitely deserves to take her place in the Arc and will be one of the ones to beat.
Yes, and there is no problem about the ground with her, soft or good ground. It's not a problem. So it's another big advantage.
Okay, so she's probably the best of the fillies and mares. What now about the older horses who took part in the Prix Foire? Yes, the Prix Foix, an all-age trial for the Arc, and of course 12 months ago it was won by Orfèvre, who then went on to dazzle but not quite win the Arc itself. We've got a checkered recent history in terms of this as a pointer to the Arc, haven't we, Sally?
Yes, if we look, we can see Orfèvre was second last year, so obviously has won this race 2 years in a row. But before that, you have to look back quite a distance to get any real results in this race. They've either been down the field a bit, or haven't run, or have been unplaced.
Mm-hmm, yep, Ale France and Sagas won both races in their years in the 70s and 80s. And there are also 3 Arc winners who were beaten in the Foix: Subotica, All Along and Gold River. So is this to be the year for Orfèvre, who was so dramatically beaten in the Arc 12 months ago, looks sure to win? But it's interesting, as he won the Foix this time around, Sally Ann, he looked to be a little bit more straightforward, I thought.
Well, it's interesting. Christophe Soumillon said after the race, we see in the Foix there, he beats a very nice name who's also entered in the Arc and in the Prix d'Ollard the day before, and Perica, and Going Somewhere, who's representing Brazil now, trained by David Smaga. All 4 of them are entered in the Arc. Christophe Soumillon said after the race that he's had to adapt his riding style a lot to suit this horse, that he's actually gone to ride the horse a lot more often in the morning, and that he tries to ride the horse off the neck strap instead of pulling on the reins at all, because he said the more you hit the horse, or the more you pull on his mouth, the more the horse reacts against it. So he said he's had a hard job training himself to ride the horse the way it needs to be, but it's something that he had to do, which I think is very interesting, to point that the horse is far from easy to ride.
Vincent, were you impressed with Orfèvre?
Yes, definitely. The way he won was very impressive. More impressive than last year when he won in that Prix Foix. I think the fact that Christophe Soumillon knows more the horse now, it's very important, because the horse is special. We saw that last year. So no, very impressive. Definitely a champion. No problem for him with the ground, as Trev. Good soft ground, it's no problem. So he will be one of the hot favourites, logically.
Yeah, and we can hear now from his big race jockey Christophe Soumillon, who explains he's had a much smoother preparation this year.
Quand je l'ai travaillé l'autre jour, je le trouve beaucoup mieux que l'année dernière. L'année dernière, il est arrivé un petit peu avec des ennuis de santé, il n'était pas au top. On l'a un petit peu amené du mieux qu'on pouvait, mais c'était pas évident. Là, il a plus de temps, il n'a pas couru autant au Japon. Maintenant, c'est un cheval qui reste un petit peu coquin, mais ce que j'ai bien aimé chez lui aujourd'hui, c'est que j'ai pris l'avantage quand même relativement tôt, et qu'au lieu de se reprendre et de faire des bêtises, on l'a vu, il s'est amusé pour finir. Il aimait galoper, et je crois que c'est le plus important avec ce cheval-là, c'est qu'il a envie de se donner, parce que je pense qu'en classe pure, c'est vraiment une machine de guerre. Franchement, Trèves, ça sera la jument de la course avec le mien. Après, vous savez, l'Arc, c'est pareil, si on se retrouve avec le 18 à la corde, qu'on fait comme l'année dernière, les extérieurs, c'est jamais évident, mais voilà, je pense qu'on a le cheval pour. Et très sincèrement, autant pour les Japonais que son entraîneur, j'aimerais qu'on se rattrape pour oublier l'échec de l'année dernière, parce que c'est très sincèrement l'un des meilleurs que j'ai monté dans ma vie, donc ce serait plaisant pour lui.
Amazing, isn't it? Christophe Soumillon, one of the best horses he's ever ridden. He looked great. Do you think he's going to be right in the mix again?
I think so, and I think it's interesting that he says that Trev and Orfèvre are the 2 horses to beat. Christophe Soumillon is a very good judge of a horse. I think it's also interesting that he says that, he wants to win this for Japan. Japan have been second 3 times in this race. They really deserve a win. We get huge amounts of Japanese people coming to Longchamp every year for this race, and I think it would be an amazing celebration if Orfèvre won this year.
Yeah. Well, of course, a couple of years ago, Dane Dream won it for Germany, and their hope this year, of course, is Novelist, who was so impressive when winning the King George at Ascot, but arguably less impressive back on home turf last time out, Sally Ann.
Yes, last time out in the Grand Prix de Baden-Baden, it was not quite so impressive. He beat Seismus by just under a length. Seismus had won a Group 1, the Rhineland Pokal, before that. He beat what we asked him to beat. You can't ask him to do that much more. I think they are looking towards the Arc as their objective, so he just he didn't do any more than he had to do on that occasion. He is still one of the favourites for this race. Horse that's run 11 times, has won 9 times, has won 6 Group 1s. I think the King George is the most impressive for him. I was there that day. He was very impressive, winning by 5 lengths, and that was the real test for him to win outside of Germany.
Vincent, is he a big danger Novelist?
Yes, of course. He was impressive in France before the King George. I think his jockey respected him a lot in that Grosser Preis from Baden-Baden.